Army Upgrade Channel. Today we will look at the training flights of the crews of Su-30SM and Su-30SM2 Multirole fighters. Su-24M bombers of the Baltic Fleet Naval Aviation began to perform flights with refueling in the air. The Illinois 78 refueling aircraft was used as an air tanker, capable of refueling up to 10 aircraft in the air during a single flight. In total, about 20 flight crews of the fleet's naval aviation were involved in practicing the complex element. Refueling in the air will be carried about both day and night, alone and in pairs of aircraft. This type of training is one of the most difficult types of flight training. Only experienced specialists are allowed to take part in them, who must carefully observe the speed and altitude regime during the flight. The Illinois 78 crew takes to the air with a maximum takeoff weight of about 200 tons, transferring during the flight at least 10 tons of fuel to each of the naval aviation aircraft. Pilots at an altitude of 2,000 to 5,000 meters at a speed of 500 to 600 kilometers per hour approach the refueling tanker at a distance of 10-15 meters, released boom, contact, with the cone sensor refueler, and then maintain this distance until the full pumping of fuel. At night, refueling is performed using additional lighting installed both on the Illinois 78 and on the refueling aircraft. The ability to refuel in the air significantly extends the range of the aircraft and allows the aircraft to operate both in operational and tactical depth, and to solve tasks in areas far from the home base using the entire range of air-to-air and air-to-surface weapons. Air refueling also allows air units to be relocated to distant airfields by non-stop flights. To provide a long-range flight along the route of the route, it is enough to lift a refueling aircraft into the air. Today we will talk about the Russian prototype of the prospective Minoga project deck helicopter. The flight tests of the machine are scheduled to start in 2025. See the first photo of a full-size mock-up of the helicopter in one of the assembly shops of Kamov JSC. Only the fuselage is visible. The propellers are not installed, but it is known that the helicopter will have a traditional for Kamov machines coaxial scheme. The helicopter fleet of Russian naval aviation is already significantly outdated. Most helicopters were designed and supplied to the Navy back in 1980 to 1990s. Minoga project helicopter is created to replace Su-30SM multipurpose deck helicopter, which is in service since 1981. Specifications of the vehicle and its possible armament have not been disclosed yet. It is only known that it is planned to be equipped with a modified TV-7-117 engine, used in Mi-28, Mi-38 and Ka-52 helicopters, as well as to be installed on Il-112 volts and Il-114 airplanes. The Minoga project is the first Russian development of Kamov. The Minoga project helicopter is likely to be designated Ka-65 and will replace the Ka-27 anti-submarine helicopter in the Russian Navy in 2028. The Ka-27 multipurpose helicopter made its first flight in December 1973. It is based on the coaxial scheme, which is considered relatively simple in terms of piloting. Maximum takeoff weight of the helicopter is 12 tons. The car can reach speed up to 270 km/h and perform flights at the distance up to 900 kilometers. The decision of the USA to write off the legendary A-10 Thunderbolt II is seen at the end of the video on the link. Today we are going to watch a unique excursion to the test cosmodrome, Plasetsik, in the Arkhangelsk region of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation. The main event of the prepared program was the launch of a medium-class carrier rocket, Soyuz 2, with spacecraft in the interests of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation. Watch a tour of the assembly and test building, launch and technical complex of the Angara launch vehicle. The test cosmodrome was established on July 15, 1957, geographically located on the territory of the Arkhangelsk region and is the northernmost cosmodrome in the world. The total area of the cosmodrome is 176,200 hectares, extending from north to south by 46 kilometers and from east to west by 82 kilometers. Today, the cosmodrome is a complex scientific and technical complex that performs tasks in the interests of types and branches of the armed forces of the Russian Federation. On Saturday, The launch of a medium-class SOYUZ-2.1B carrier rocket with a spacecraft in the interests of the Defense Ministry was carried out from the Cosmodrome by the combat crews of the Space Forces of the Russian Armed Forces. After the launch vehicle was escorted by the ground-based automated control complex of the main Space Test Center. At the estimated time, the spacecraft was placed into the target orbit and taken over by the ground-based control facilities of the Space Forces of the All-Union Space Center. After the spacecraft was placed into orbit, officers of the main Space Intelligence Center of the Space Forces of the All-Union Space Forces entered information about it into the main catalog of space objects of the Russian Space Control System and began analyzing and processing information about the new space object.
The word is given to the commander of Pacific Ocean Fleet, Lina Viktor Nikolaevich.
Army Upgrade Channel. You are familiar with the events of the defense complex of different countries. Today, we will look at the joint international anti-terrorist exercises. Participating military formations of the Armed Forces of Russia, member states of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, and dialogue partners, SMOA Plus. The exercise started in Primorsky Krai on the territory of Russia. The combat training event will be conducted in 2 stages. At the first stage, representatives of the military command bodies of military formations of the participating states will determine the concept of an anti-terrorist operation. At the second stage, military contingents of the countries as part of a multinational grouping of troops will work out the fulfillment of their assigned tasks. The exercise involves the military administration bodies and units of the East Military District, as well as military contingents of the Armed Forces of Brunei, Vietnam, India, Indonesia, Cambodia, China, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand, and the Philippines. A total of about 700 servicemen will take part in the event. Airplanes, helicopters, unmanned aerial vehicles, tanks, armored personnel carriers, and other equipment of the Eastern Military District will be involved. Army Upgrade Channel recalls, SMOA Plus is a mechanism of the ASEAN Defense Ministers meetings of ASEAN member countries and its dialogue partners. It was established in April 2010 on the initiative of Vietnam for interaction between military departments of 10 countries of Southeast Asia, ASEAN, and dialogue partner states, Australia, China, India, Japan, New Zealand, Republic of Korea, Russia, USA. The activities of specialists within the framework of SMOA Plus are carried out in 7 expert working groups on humanitarian demining, humanitarian